Team Canada is out in full force to stop tariffs.
Is Canada poised to reshape the North American automotive industry by considering a 100% tariff on Tesla, a major American electric vehicle EV brand, as a countermeasure against Trump's protectionist trade policies?
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
This step could radically change the industry dynamics and might reflect Canada's efforts to strengthen ties with the European Union by welcoming European EVs, challenging U.S. dominance.
The Prime Minister meeting with European allies in Brussels.
In this video, we will explore the consequences of these actions, drawing on insights from various sources to provide a thorough analysis. Tesla is not just another automaker. It is a symbol of U.S. technological dominance in the EV industry. The company holds approximately 70% of the American EV market and has been a leader in the global transition towards sustainable transportation. However, this dominance is now under threat due to new trade policies from Canada. Canada's decision to impose a 100% tariff on Tesla vehicles marks a significant escalation in its trade conflict with the United States, reflecting strategic retaliation against previously instituted protectionist trade policies. This bold move not only challenges the protectionist stance that has characterized recent U.S. trade policies, but also threatens to dramatically increase vehicle prices in Canada, impacting Tesla's market share. With Canada selling over 50,000 Tesla vehicles annually, this tariff will make Tesla's cars prohibitively expensive for Canadian buyers. A Tesla Model 3, which currently costs around $40,000, would see its price double to $80,000. The impact on Tesla's sales will be catastrophic, effectively shutting the company out of the Canadian market. The tariff adds another layer of uncertainty, leading to increased volatility in Tesla's valuation. Tesla's stock has already suffered from declining investor confidence due to price cuts and global competition. As Musk's empire faces growing competition from European and Chinese EV manufacturers, from countries affected by U.S. trade policies. The immediate impact on Tesla was noticeable as investor confidence waned, leading to a significant drop in stock prices following the tariff announcement. Politically, this is a direct counterstrike against Trump's trade war policies. Musk has been one of Trump's biggest corporate allies, benefiting from tax breaks and regulatory rollbacks. By targeting Tesla, Canada is sending a clear message that it will not tolerate protectionist trade policies that harm Canadian industries. This retaliation could escalate the ongoing U.S.-Canada trade war, with broader implications for the entire North American economy. The ripple effects of the U.S. tariffs and Canada's retaliatory tariffs extend beyond the automotive industry, impacting a wide range of sectors and escalating to a comprehensive trade war. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's imposition of tariffs on a broad spectrum of U.S. goods represents a robust defense of Canadian economic interests against aggressive U.S. trade measures, setting the stage for a prolonged economic standoff with potential disruptions to North American trade dynamics. Local Canadian responses, such as Ontario's decision to cancel a significant contract with SpaceX for internet services, demonstrate the depth of retaliation, broadening the scope of the trade dispute to include technology and services beyond the automotive sector. These actions highlight the interconnected nature of modern economies, where decisions in one sector can ripple across multiple industries and borders. The implementation of these tariffs and the subsequent economic strategies underscore the tactical approaches nations are adopting to protect their industries and economic sovereignty amidst growing global trade tensions. Canada's efforts to diversify its trade relationships, particularly by strengthening ties with the EU and exploring new partnerships in Asia, indicate a strategic pivot away from over-reliance on the U.S. market. This diversification not only helps buffer the Canadian economy from bilateral trade shocks, but also positions Canada more broadly within the global economic arena as a country asserting its trade independence and resilience. While Canada's tariff on Tesla is a retaliatory measure, it serves a strategic economic purpose to create new opportunities for European EV manufacturers and reduce reliance on the U.S. auto market. For years, U.S. automakers like Ford, General Motors, and Tesla have dominated Canada's auto industry. However, Canada is now using tariffs as a strategic tool to defend local industries and invigorate domestic competition with advanced technologies to growing global trade tensions, with Canada strategically broadening its automotive market by integrating a diverse range of European electric vehicles, EVs. This diversification is anticipated to enhance Canada's economic resilience against international economic fluctuations and trade disputes. Parallel to the EU's strategy, Canada has implemented similar tariffs on both US and Chinese EVs, reflecting a clear effort to bolster Canadian auto of European EVs that might not be subject to such high tariffs. Major European car makers like Volkswagen, BMW, and Stellantis are expanding production in Canada to take advantage of reduced trade barriers and are likely to capture a larger market share. Volkswagen has invested heavily in Canadian battery production, ensuring that its vehicles will be tariff-exempt and more competitive than their U.S. counterparts. More establish electric vehicle, EV battery plants in the region. This strategic tariff alignment with the EU not only positions Canada advantageously within shifting global supply chains and evolving consumer preferences, but also solidifies its presence as a proactive member of the international economic community. These policies are designed to foster a competitive, diverse automotive market, enhancing Canada's defenses against global economic pressures and promoting a more diversified and competitive automotive sector. The shift toward European EVs allows Canada to diversify its trade relationships and protect itself from future U.S. trade instability. Over the next decade, Canada's EV market could become increasingly dominated by European automakers, marking a significant power shift in North America's auto industry. The imposition of tariffs on Tesla by Canada, alongside the country's embrace of EU electric vehicles, Bloomberg government report, the potential re-imposition of U.S. tariffs on Canadian and Mexican auto imports could increase car prices by up to $3,000, severely impacting the auto industry. This escalation is part of broader tensions that have seen Tesla and other automakers grappling with new challenges, such as tariffs on Chinese graphite, a critical component for EV batteries. This scenario highlights the interconnectedness of global supply chains and the extensive impact of national trade policies on international industry standards and practices. Echoing sentiments from another source, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other officials have adopted a defensive stance, implementing their own tariffs in response to U.S. measures. This response has cooled diplomatic relations and prompted Canada to seek new trading partners, reducing its dependence on the U.S. market. This shift towards diversification aligns with global economic trends, where nations are increasingly protective of their industries against perceived unfair trade practices. The critical timing of these tariffs, as North America faces the transition to zero-emission vehicles and the establishment of a robust battery supply chain, underscores a significant shift towards more insulated, nationally focused economic strategies. These strategies affect industries beyond automotive, including technology and consumer goods. The complex dynamics of these tariffs, as described in the articles, impact not just the cost structure of the automotive industry, relating tariffs initiated by the U.S. under the truce, suggesting that the financial strain could hinder the ongoing adoption of electric vehicles, crucial for the industry's move towards sustainable transportation. The broader economic impact of these tariffs extends beyond just the automotive sector. Increased production costs, driven by tariffs on essential materials like graphite for EV batteries, could affect everything from pricing strategies to corporate profitability. This situation complicates the industry's shift towards zero-emission vehicles and the need for a robust North American battery supply chain. Faced with these challenges, companies might reconsider their production strategies, potentially leading to job cuts and factory shutdowns. The effects of the trade war are pervasive. Signs of backing down, the conflict is expected to intensify, leading to higher tariffs, increased production costs, and significant job losses across North America. This escalating trade conflict, characterized by mutual tariffs and strategic shifts in trade alliances, heralds a challenging period for the U.S. auto industry. The potential disruption of supply chains, coupled with rising manufacturing costs and increased vehicle prices, could substantially impede the industry's growth and the wider adoption of eco-friendly automotive technologies. As countries turn inward to protect their local industries against global uncertainties, the auto industry stands at a crossroads, tasked with navigating the delicate balance between cost, innovation, and market demand. This high-stakes economic showdown could redefine U.S.-Canada trade relations for years to come. If the U.S. continues to escalate tariffs, Canada may respond by shifting even more trade to the EU and Asia, permanently weakening America's influence in the region and reshaping global trade dynamics. Beyond the automotive sector, Canada and the European Union are forging strategic alliances concerning strategic is transformational for both Canada and the EU, enhancing economic security, increasing investment in mining and refining operations, and advancing battery technologies. Lithium and cobalt are indispensable for the production of lithium-ion batteries, powering the majority of today's electric vehicles. As the global push towards electric mobility intensifies, part of broader efforts to combat climate change, the demand for these minerals has surged. However, these critical minerals are predominantly found in a few countries, often in regions fraught with geopolitical tensions or challenging labor conditions, posing risks to the stability of supply chains. As tensions with the U.S. continue to rise, Canada is actively reducing its dependence on American trade by expanding partnerships with the European Union and Asia. The comprehensive economic with new tariffs on American imports, Canada is accelerating efforts to integrate with European and Asian markets, further diminishing its economic reliance on the U.S. The Strategic Minerals Alliance between Canada and the EU, these measures reflect escalating concerns about protectionism and the erosion of the World Trade Organization's (WTO) influence on global trade rules. This alliance challenges U.S. dominance in the EV market, as American automakers may struggle to secure essential materials, thereby forcing them to pay higher prices or seek alternative sources. The Canada-EU collaboration might include joint ventures in mining operations, shared investments in mineral processing facilities, and agreements on environmental and labor standards to ensure sustainable and ethical extraction practices. The collaboration extends beyond mere extraction. It encompasses the development of advanced materials technology and recycling processes that could make the production of EV batteries more sustainable and less dependent on virgin mineral resources. Looking forward, the Canada-EU Minerals Alliance could expand to include other countries that share similar values and objectives regarding sustainable development and supply chain security. This expansion would not only enhance the alliance's global influence, but also promote broader adherence to responsible mining and production practices. This strategic diversification reduces Canada's exposure to U.S. economic pressures and ensures that Canadian businesses have access to global markets without being tied to U.S. trade policies. Therefore, the Strategic Minerals Alliance between Canada and the EU represents a significant step towards securing stable, sustainable, and ethical supply chains for materials critical to the future of mobility and technology. This partnership not only addresses immediate vulnerabilities in supply chains,